Hello, back again with me with Masca Indra. In my review of research paper, the title is The Role of Brand Image in the Sub-Brand Acceptance Level, a Case in Invictus, by me, Masca Indra, the Magister of Science in Management, School of Business Management ITB, supervised by Mr. Oni Bibin Bintoro. The introduction. Clothing imports also live in our fashion industries. Competition in Indonesia, especially in the big cities. Brands like Quicksilver, Billabong, Mooks, and many others are the brands that are known as import popular brands, which are favored by Indonesian people, especially casual style lover. But the local brand is not to be outdone by the clothing imports that meet Indonesian market, such as C59. And for those fans of casual style clothes, local clothing label Invictus already well known. Invictus established in 2003 in Bandung. Invictus on target market is adults aged between 21 and 25 years old. Invictus can guarantee the quality of its material. Features that distinguish Invictus with other clothing products is the design, which is very simple, such as have an elegant impression. At the beginning, Invictus better known by word of mouth process, but nowadays Invictus using above the line and below the line of promotion. This is the label of Invictus. The preliminary research. Research tried to ask to Invictus customer about what they feel when use the Invictus products. Most respondents state when they bought Invictus products, they just want to try. They said that they not only buy Invictus brand and feel nothing special wearing this brand. Invictus expect to be as popular as other famous foreign brand and their customer can be loyal. So when Invictus launch its new sub-brand, they can be success. The Invictus brand image was not bad in customers' eyes, but not strong enough embedded in customers' mind. So, this research will examine one component of the marketing element, which is the particularly brand image. Looking from this phenomenon, this research will focus on to find out about first, how is consumer perception about the components of brand image? Second is how is consumer acceptance level of products with brand name Invictus enemy? And third, the extent to which the influence of brand image to the level of acceptance of products with brand name Invictus enemy. After understanding the background and identify the problem which have described in the previous sections, the preliminary research, the purpose of this study are first, to determine consumers' perception related to each component forming an Invictus brand image, and the second is to determine consumer acceptance level of brand product, the Invictus enemy. The methodology. The study classified as applied research because use existing theories and test them in the field, and this study also tries to explain about the influence between two or more phenomena or the variables. To gather data, this research used a survey method. There are two variables. There are variable X, that is the independent variable, the consumer perceptions of Invictus brand image, and the second variable is variable Y, the dependent variable, consumer acceptance level of the sub-brands of the Invictus enemy. The variable measurement. The measurement using a numerical scale for variable X and for the variable Y will use a dichotomous scale to answer yes and no, and proceed to use the Likert scale. These are the variable X. For the dimension, there are the product attributes, the consumer benefit, the brand personality, the user imagery, the organizational association, and the brand consumer relationship. On product attributes, we got level of materials, color, size, and such as. And benefit, we got lot of level of product, level of screen print, and the normal period of time. For the population and the sample research, the population in the study are all the Invictus consumers, especially who live in Bandung. The sampling design uses non-probabilistic sampling with the Chapman's sampling technique, which means taking a sample based on specific criteria determined by researchers because they are regarded as the best choice to provide the information needed. These are the regression model. Through the multiple regression analysis to note the influence of each variable on consumer acceptance, as well as the influence of variable X together to consumer acceptance. The statistical tests use the SPSS 11.0. These are the variable X and the variable Y. We got X1, X2.1, X2.2, X3, X4, X5, and the X6. These are the correlation analysis. For the variable X1 and X2.1 has a weak correlation located on between 0.2 to 0.3.9, and for the other variable X have the relationship that was between 0.4 to 0.559. Result in significance value below 0.05. That means that the independent variables were correlated significantly with other variables. This is the output for initial multiple regression. In the model 1, this model obtained R square value of 44.1. This indicates that 44.1% of the variation of the variable Y can be explained by the variable X. And for the coefficient, we got these variables did not significantly affect the Y, then the regression should be repeat. Because the regression should be repeat, we do another regression test. These are the new regression model. For the new multiple regression analysis, there are three independent variables are not significant to the variable Y that must be removed. So the variable X1 onto variable X2 is removed, and there are variable X3, X4, X5, X6, and variable Y. Seems like before, this indicates that the variable X3, X4, X5, and X6 has a weak correlation to the variable Y. And the adjust the R square point in the model 2, this one, the R2 value of 0.4045. This indicates that 44.5% of the variation of the variable Y can be explained by the variable X3, X4, X5, and the X6. These are the initial independent variable coefficient. So the conclusion is the point of constant in -2.132 states that consumer perception when the first herd infectus is negative. On the X3 regression coefficient, that is 0.202, state that any addition, because the sign is plus of 1, it will enhance consumer acceptance of 0.2. For the X4 regression coefficient, which is 0.088, state that any addition, because the sign of plus of 1, it will enhance consumer acceptance. This figure shows a fairly weak correlation between the consumer-brand relationship to consumer acceptance. And the X5 regression coefficient of 0.122 figures show a weak correlation between the brand personality infectus with the consumer acceptance. On the X6, the figure shows a very weak correlation between the user imaginary effects to consumer acceptance, which is below 0.5. The overall, the regression model above show that the greatest influence on consumer acceptance is the brand image, especially for the organizational association, brand personality, and user imagery. However, the variable X4, the brand-consumer relationship, also has a considerable influence on consumer acceptance. Keep in mind that consumers tend to pay attention in choosing goods. Emotional factor when associated with this research is related to the brand image. Thank you so much for watching this video. That's all for me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.